Good morning and welcome to my first ever studio vlog. If you're new here, hi, my name's Charlotte and I run my own digital embroidery company out of my parents' dining room in my home in West Yorkshire in the UK. So I've got a busy working weekend planned, so I thought I'd take you along with me. I had my weekend in the middle of the week this week with my partner because he doesn't work the usual Monday to Friday 9 to 5, so those were his days off this week, so I had my weekend then with him. The to-do list for today is to film and edit some reels, to sample some commissions, and then stitch up and film a sample for my portfolio that is also going to go on Instagram. Got my cup of tea so I can face the world now. Let's get going. Also, I have a proper professional, I can't speak, I have a proper professional tripod to put my camera on that I'm filming on, but I kind of use anything to prop up my phone when I'm filming normally. So like, you're currently on a bin and this is my makeshift, like I just need it to be a little bit bigger is the problem. I just need things to have like a little leg up. That's what I'm working with. Also, this tripod isn't very good. I got it off eBay. I don't know why I'm looking for things to place, and I've literally got this giant box. Does that work? Perfect. Yeah, I think you're better over here. This is the struggle. See, this is the bin that you were on. This is normally what I put my threads in. And my backing when I'm embroidering. Working out the dining room is really helpful for some things, but I tend to, when I'm filming, have to like move all the crap around the room, which takes me like 10 times longer to film anything, which is kind of the struggle that I'm having now. So, I've just had my lunch, I've made myself a mocha. Since I last spoke to you, I've sampled up a commission. I'm kind of in this limbo at the minute where I'm being commissioned for things and been getting orders, which is great, but they're either gifts or they can't be seen yet. So I've got nothing to post on my socials to like kind of advertise myself because I am still like a little baby business. So for the portfolio sample that I'm about to do, I'm trying to squeeze like 3 posts out of that, which it doesn't seem like that many, but kind of feel like people get bored of the same thing over and over again. So that's my kind of dilemma that I've got at the minute, but it's still exciting that I'm getting commissions and stuff, so I am really happy about that. It's kind of hard just to plan out a socials calendar when you can't show what you're actually making, kind of thing. So we'll get going on that portfolio sample and I'm gonna enjoy the rest of my mocha. So I got about 3/4 of the way through that sample and thought, this isn't the standard or quality of work that I want to be putting out there under Charlotte Francis Embroidery. It's not the pinnacle of what I can create. And I kind of had this moment of, oh, I'm just wasting my time. So I've decided not to completely finish the sample. I'm still going to upload a reel and a carousel as I'd planned to, but instead of the, kind of how I've made this, I'm going to reflect on what I've learned from it and what I could do better so that it's still constructive, but it's not kind of like this is my best work, this is what I can do, because it's not. I was rushing when I did it, and I think that's quite apparent. So I'm going to make a positive out of it. I'm not going to dwell on it, but yeah, I just thought I'd update you because I've been making a big thing about finishing this sample and now it's not happening. So yeah, I'm just going to work my way through my list of jobs to do and then check back in with you. So I'm starting today's vlog a little bit later than I'd intended to. I had some admin to catch up with this morning and some client commission work that I was digitising that I can't show on camera. So it's now 12:20 and I'm starting. And I've also filmed this intro about 3 times and I'm determined to get it right this time because my coffee is going cold. The first job on the to-do list this morning or this afternoon is to take pictures for a carousel of that sample that I was working on yesterday. I'm still going to try and squeeze the life out of that for in terms of social media posts. So we've got that to do. Then I've ordered some tote bags to put my logo on, which is very exciting. So I need to digitise my logo nice and big and then we'll stitch them out and I'll film some reels at the same time. I definitely have more on my list, but I can't remember off the top of my head. So we'll get going with that. So my thinking is, instead of wrapping like pet portraits and kind of like little commissions in tissue paper and stuff like that, I would put them in a custom Charlotte Francis Embroidery tote bag as like a nice way to wrap it, and then obviously put it in like some outer packaging if I'm posting it. So this is kind of like the tester for that. I need to digitise my logo nice and big, which is the next job, but I'm going to open up this and see what colours I got. Neutral. It's like the classic tote bag colour in it. This was cheaper, this was like 20p cheaper than the others, but I just wanted to get it to see what it looked like. So let me get the hoop. So this is the hoop that I was going to use, like that. Yeah. And then like a nice sky blue colour. Black, or is this navy? No, this is black. Black. Lilac. What was this called? It had a really nice name. What are them berries called? Cranberry. Cranberry. I like this colour. My mum likes this kind of colour. Big pink. Another kind of sky blue colour. And then a navy. So I'm going to embroider these, see what they come up like. I have a couple of people that have ordered from me, but I think my mum is very excited about these tote bags as well. So she might be stealing a couple of those. So we'll start digitising, might do a little time lapse, and then I'll get back to you when we start stitching. So I've just finished the digitising. I'm going to do a quick sample just to check that all the stitching's okay, and then we'll move on to the tote bags. hot off the press. So I think I'm going to change this spacing to be a bit closer together like the ones at the top, because I think it looks a bit strange. So I'll just edit that on the file before I stitch the others up. It did take like half an hour to stitch out, which is quite long for like a free gift. Because I was going to do like both sides of it. So an hour's worth of stitching just like seems a bit stupid really, doesn't it? So I'm thinking I'll either do a big one and then a little one up there, or a big one and some monogramming, like someone's initials. But I'll get going with that after lunch. I'm going to have a little break now, and then when I come back I'll edit that file and then film the tote bag reel and try and get a bit of work done in between, because as I say, if they're taking like half an hour, then I might as well try and get some other work done. I'm going to sign off for today here because I just want to get in my comfies, if I'm honest. And I'm going to work for another couple of hours and then Eurovision's on, and I'm going to get myself a Chinese and sit and watch that. Hello again. So Sunday morning today, and I've sipped my cup of tea. Oh, that's hot. Ow. Jesus. So today's plan is to film a sit down chit chat video, which is not boding well because I'm struggling to talk to you now and I need to do at least half an hour talking. And I'll show you the tote bags as promised. I have one that's still on the machine that I was working on last night, but it got kind of late, so I turned it off. That's kind of like halfway through. But I think I managed to do like, how many is that? I think I did about 5. So I have 2 more to go that are on the table there. But I kind of want to do them in different colours. So I'll leave them running, I think, while I'm filming the video. I'm going to drink my cup of tea. I made myself a bacon sandwich this morning and burnt it. So we're off to a great start. But I have been for my run this morning. Me and my partner have got a 10k race next month. And then we've got a half marathon later on in the year. So I'm really trying to stick to getting it done, because once I get into running, I'm alright, but actually getting myself to go is a bit of a struggle. So I'll take you over and show you the tote bags. So, I've got a lilac one. It's kind of hard to show. A pink one. They've still got the heat pen on them, on some of them. And then I did a blue one, and I also haven't trimmed them. A navy one, and a black one. So as I said yesterday, I think I'm going to put these in as like freebies and like put pet portraits and commissions in, because I've bought from small businesses and got like really nice printed packaging, and don't get me wrong, it's really nice getting a very well branded package, but I don't think that's the route that I want to go down, at least not at the moment. I would rather spend like packaging money on something like this than a box that someone's going to throw away, or like a bit of tissue paper, is my thinking. But I might change my mind. So they're what I've done so far. And then I have these 2 still left to do, but I think I'm going to do them in like a pink and a dark blue kind of contrast with them, so that it doesn't all look kind of like this one. But yeah, these were the first few tests. But I think, yeah, I'm pleased with how this turned out. And I think I'll run those as I'm filming the chit chat video. I just need to get my notes because I don't know where I've put them. and then we'll go outside, I'll finish my cuppa and we'll get going with that. I've been reviewing the footage that I've taken for the chit chat video, and I've decided that I'm just going to add it into this video as a little bonus and not upload a video next week. I was finding it really hard to film, I was stumbling all over my words, and I just, quite frankly, don't have time to refilm it this week. So I think that is the best course of action. I'm on holiday next week anyway, so it'll take a little bit of stress off making sure that the video is all okay. So enjoy that now. Welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, hi, my name's Charlotte and I run my own digital embroidery company, Charlotte Francis Embroidery, out of my home in West Yorkshire in the UK. I thought it'd be a really nice idea to do like a sit down chit chat video, get to know me style, talk through what's coming up for Charlotte Francis Embroidery, go in a little bit more depth about why I started my own business and about me as well. I've got my little list here to talk you through what's coming up with me, and yes, some exciting stuff. So the main thing that I want to talk to you about and what I'm most excited about is at the end of June, I'm going to be launching my very first collection. It still doesn't have a name. I'm thinking something along the lines of like Wildflower Collection or English Garden Collection or something like that, Yorkshire Garden Collection. And I've been working on it for a couple of months now. The whole point of me doing a collection was to see what sells and also kind of have a practice of like setting my store up, working through orders, like things like that. When I started this business, my intention, and it still is my intention, was to do costume embroidery. So for the TV and film industry, for the theatre industry, that kind of thing. But I wanted to kind of have like another source of income that was kind of going on in the background that was slightly minimal effort for me in terms of like having to just stitch up a hoodie and send it out rather than having to do like masses of digitizing and stitching out and the planning and measuring that goes behind the costume embroidery that I do. I've been working on it since March. I think along the way I've kind of lost the point of why I was doing it, and the reason that I was doing it was to kind of have a practice, but because I'm such a perfectionist, I've really been struggling with like, well, this isn't good enough, this isn't like what I produce for my costume stuff. But again, that's not the point, and it's also different. What people will wear is different to what I would do for like a 1920s dress or something. I am a bit of a perfectionist, and it's my biggest strength and my biggest weakness in one. I'll sit for hours and work on the design and make sure that it's perfect. When you're wanting to produce your best work and you're doing it for a client, or like when I'm doing it for a costume, that's great, but there's not always time to do that. And also I think sometimes I kind of go the extreme of what I've got in front of me is absolutely fine, but I'm still picking it apart and still trying to improve it when it doesn't really need it. So that's the kind of battle I've been having with this collection, is like I've been working on it for a couple of months now, but I'm still not happy with it. But like it needs to come out at the end of June because I've set myself out like a yearly plan, and it needs to come out in June for that yearly plan to work. I have been vlogging it as I've been making it, so you can see like the whole process from me starting with the initial design that I was working with and where I'm getting to. So they'll be coming out in June, kind of building up to the launch, which will be the last Friday in June, I'm hoping. Well, no, it will be. It'll be the last Friday in June. Let's be optimistic about it. So stay tuned for the collection. Now, I mentioned a couple of times that after I graduated, I carried on working in theatre as I've been doing throughout my degree, and then just kind of realised it wasn't the right fit for me, but I haven't really gone into detail of why that was. So I thought it'd be a good opportunity to do that now. So for a bit of context, 2 years ago, I did Camp America, and I went and worked at a summer camp in North Carolina for 3 months. And I really didn't enjoy it. And I'm really glad that I had the experience. It was a once in a lifetime experience. And if anybody asks me whether they should do Camp America, I always say try it, because some people absolutely love it. They go back year after year and they think it's the best thing in the world. But it just wasn't right for me. And I felt very overwhelmed while I was there, because I was working in a new environment with like hundreds of new people. A lot of people. There was a lot of staff. And I just didn't feel like I was thriving in that environment. And when I came back from America, I kind of had that in the back of my mind. when I graduated and started working in these different theatres with different people all the time, I kind of felt the same feelings that I was feeling in America of being like, I'm not doing my best work because the conditions that I need to do my best work aren't around me right now. I need kind of the same people around me. I like working with the same people and doing the same job day in, day out. I don't like going and meeting new teams for a couple of days, doing a different job and then going and working another job. I really like the repetition of doing like panto, where you're doing the same show 50 days in a row and you get into the routine and the rhythm of doing it. I feel like that's when I do my best work. And that is kind of what you do in London because you're working on the same show all the time. But from going to America, I know that not having my support network around me and moving away to then do a job isn't the right fit for me. I sat and thought about it for a while, spoke to a lot of different people and just thought, this isn't for me. So that's why I decided to kind of step away from the costume industry in that particular division of it. And I still kind of dip my toe in and out of it, but I didn't want it to be my main source of income. I also really don't like the freelance nature of it. And in a sense, I'm still doing that where I'm waiting for orders to make some money, but that's kind of why I'm doing the collection, to have a bit of a backup and doing YouTube and being present on social media with my work. It's a different kind of freelance to what you do when you're dressing, because you're contacting different theatres or waiting for different contacts to say to you, oh, I've got a job. Yeah, it's just not, I'm not thriving in that kind of environment and I want to do my best work. So I have a skill in digital embroidery. I went with it and that's how we've ended up here. So that's how we ended up here with me starting my own business, and I think it was definitely the right decision. So this is the planner that I use. If I can find the link for them, I'll put them in the description. I've used this planner for about 3 or 4 years and I just like the way that they're laid out. I've also decorated the front of this one in stickers from the Sugar Bell because I really enjoy Sarah's videos. So it's just a monthly layout like that, and then the weekly pages are just like that. And it was just the only planner that I found that I really liked the layout of it, and it's got like a focus bit and tells you where in the month you are. I find it really helpful to plan out my week. I feel like I'm a lot more productive if I do that. I also love a good old sticky note, and I tend to put them on my pages as well. I'll normally write out like a to-do list just for generally the week, random bits that I need to get done that week, and put them on a post-it note, and then when I've got like an extra minute, I can add it to my to-do list for that day, rather than setting out like a really regimented list for everything for the week, because sometimes I don't think that works very well, or at least for me. Yeah, I'm going to plan out next week so that I've got a bit of a head start tomorrow, because I think I am in my other job tomorrow, which I don't think I've mentioned. I was meant to mention it in the chit chat video and I completely forgot. So I have another part-time job as an embroiderer doing workwear. So I work usually 1 to 2 days a week doing that. So I think I'm at that job tomorrow. So if I plan out my week today, I've got a bit of a head start then. Because next week I'm on holiday, or the week after I'm on holiday. I could really do with like the back half of this week planning out the week that I get back, because I've got a lot on. So I've got actual work, I've got Charlotte Francis embroidery, and then I have been asked to do some costumes for an event at the beginning of June to kind of coordinate them, the best way to describe it. So I really need to be on top of my organisation game at the minute. So I'm going to sit and do that, put the tote bags on to finish, and then I'll catch up with you then. So it's a little bit later on in the day now. I've been working away and I think I'm going to end this vlog here. Thank you so much for watching if you've made it this far. I'd love it if you could like and subscribe, and hopefully I'll catch you in my next video. Bye!